Okay, there, that's
fired.
the right button. Okay, welcome back to the Talking Corner. This week we have a special guest. It's Dean. Say, oh, sorry.
How am I special?
Oh, that's... Okay, it doesn't probably come.
Starting
doesn't
off
come
strong.
Yeah, right. Starting off strong. It doesn't come through on my end, but my whole setup was a bit weird. But okay, there we go. We're all good.
There we go.
So we got Dean, we got Benji, Pow, Leo, and as always, Boomerang. And Pow, what are we playing? Because Pow's gonna be gaming for us this week.
Yes, I got my computer back, and it feels great. It looks great. I have.
How's the taste?
I'll get back to you on that one. But right now we are playing a little golden game called Streets of Fury. You're gonna see in just a second.
I'm deeply afraid.
So I'm gonna start us off on a new campaign. Let's see.
This game has like literally given nothing away. Like at all. I have no idea what it is.
You're about to see.
I don't know. I don't
Security
even
level?
heard it. Oh, what?
Oh my god. Wait, what?
Yes.
Oh, this is like how they did Mortal Kombat. Oh my god.
This is
Where they
great.
filmed actors. That's crazy.
I'll just cycle through a few of these, and
I
then
feel
I'll
like
pick the one that I want
we need to make
do.
a game like that. Oh, is that Nostalgia Critic?
Believe it or not.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh.
no way.
That is
Wait,
amazing.
no way.
How have I never heard of this?
This guy is my favorite.
What is sexiness? There's a
Dude.
sexiness meter? Hardness? What?
What
great.
is this?
Bob Lennon.
If I knew, I would tell you.
That's John Lennon's evil clone.
Oh yeah, and I was playing earlier, and I loved this dude. But anyways, you know what?
It's amazing. Oh my
What
gosh.
is this?
It's great. You're about to find out.
Streets of Fury. Fury.
I don't know. I think
Hey, Leo,
we're gonna go with Nostalgia Critic this time.
you're next.
We're gonna play Nostalgia
No.
Critic? Oh man, this is gonna be great. So, okay, you know what? Before we get to questions and chatting, I'm so curious. I can't even focus. I'm so curious about what this game is.
I know. Oh my god, he's just standing there.
Oh my gosh.
It's so horrifically lewd.
This is great.
Good lord.
How did you
How-
find this?
Okay.
I was just scouring one day on Steam, and then I noticed it, and I'm like, oh, dude, this is sick.
So I got a question about the controls. Wait, are you playing right
I'm
now?
using a controller. It's built for a controller, so
Okay.
pretty much
I got a
have
question
to.
though. Are they like really delayed, or is it like pretty
It feels pretty good.
good? Okay.
I like his block.
That's great.
Oh my god.
This is awesome. All
This
right,
is
well,
a video game.
All right.
okay, so we have questions. Nobody left any questions under the comment section, but we do have a question like chat
gotta
in
fight
the
those
in the Patreon Discord for Crash. So we're going to go there, but we're not going to get everybody's questions because we don't love all of you.
Yeah.
So we're
Me
going
either.
to start working through some of those questions here in a little bit. Before we get to that, how's everybody been?
I've been pretty good. Lately, a friend got me this game, a car simulator game, and I found out I could play it in VR. I've been playing the hell out of it, and once I figured out I could play in VR, I started sitting in the car in first person and getting into car crashes.
Oh yeah. Car crashes are fun.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
Did you know that car crashes aren't exactly all that fun?
That's news to
I
me.
don't believe it.
I
Depends
need
on
to
how
see
far you
the
fly.
source. The source.
Sorry, what was that?
Depends
so
on how far
focused.
you fly.
Oh, I flew pretty far.
I'm
Wait,
so entranced by this game. I'm sorry. This
This
is
game
incredible.
is just like, yeah.
We're
was gonna
supposed to
say,
be playing a
my-
boring game. This is the most entertaining game we've seen so far.
How have I been? My wife got home and it's all falling apart.
No, that's a classic reference. Man, I remember
dog
it like
ain't
it was
gonna hug,
2 weeks
man.
ago or 3 weeks ago now.
Shout out to
That
Mason
dog ain't
from
gonna
Bounty
hug
Hunter. I think that's the best game we've played.
Well, I don't know, man. This is a contender for it now.
No, I don't know.
I don't think anything can outdo Mace
Dean, how have you been?
I'm all right. Just working. Took off on Friday because it was my wife's birthday, and
Oh yeah.
we went and had Mongolian, and that's what I'm having is my leftovers. So,
Very
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever had Mongolian food.
oh, it's so good. Yeah,
Like-
they hook you up with a couple of big bowls. One you put all your noodles in, and you can put some other spices in there, and then the other one you put your meat and your veggies and all that other good stuff, or just meat if you're me. Meat and jalapenos.
Wow.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Interesting. Oh yeah. I don't
That-
think I've ever had Mongolian.
I've been all right. Personally, I almost overslept and missed the podcast because I was in a mad food coma because I went out for lunch today with some friends and it was incredibly filling. So just went to like a Tex-Mex place and it was really good.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, just working on the show. I'm trying to get that done as quickly as I can.
So you got 8 all written up now? Is that what you said?
Yeah, eight's all written. I'm working on writing 9. Benji's working on the audio assembly for the episode right now. So as people get their lines in, and there's a few people who are still waiting on casting.
Correction, old man. I'm podcasting right now.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
I didn't even realize, but he's got a Glock.
He's had a Glock. Oh
I haven't
no.
been, listen, I've been kind of like
What?
not really paying attention. What are you? Did you die like a cockroach? What happened?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus.
Rest in peace,
That was-
Doug Walker. Let's see. I guess we can get to our questions because we have quite a few of those to go through.
Oh yeah.
Some of them are even good.
No way.
Okay, hold on.
Impossible.
You guys.
That's a too high bar for this place.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. I'm gonna avoid the more ridiculous questions, honestly, out of pure spite.
Well, in that case, I will give more ridiculous answers.
You know what? That's fair.
Gotta
That
balance it out.
works.
Yeah.
Let me look through these questions for you for a little bit and find a good one to start us off. You can tell I'm very prepared for this. We're very professional on this
You're
podcast.
like me when I was doing podcasts. No show prep.
No, yeah. I hesitate to say it's the charm that we have because I don't know. I won't say that we have any charm, but that is definitely the intentional on our part is to not do much of preparation for this sort of thing.
Yeah, just
Oh, yeah.
guys being dudes. I mean, how much
dudes
more real
being
can you be
bros,
than
man.
that, you
I
know?
mean, that's what is that? What's the joke about what do you call when you got 3 guys in a room? A podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yep. There you go.
That reminds me of like somebody who's like who's so chronically online. He made like a Twitter post. He's like, I've been thinking about doing like real life podcasts where you have a bunch of people come over to your house and like sit and chill. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh my god.
I never knew
Internet-
having guests over was a podcast.
Internet dweller discovers hanging out.
It's like, dude, touch some grass.
So I am seeing kind of a theme amongst questions, and I feel like we can get it out of the way first. Dean, you haven't played any of the Halo games, have you?
You guys told me to download. There was like a whole pack of them on Steam, which I did, and I played. I don't know, half an hour, maybe an hour, and I'm not even sure it was the first one. What the hell it was? It was like the first one that popped up on there, and like most first-person shooter games, I suck at them. But and you know, for me, Fallout has always had a special place in my heart because it's turn-based and I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the
Oh.
VATS mode in even newer games, right? So you
Yep.
can do that.
Yep. That's yeah. I'm not a joystick jockey by any stretch of the imagination. I just can't do it. I would have to go back. I mean, because when I was playing games at your age, we didn't have that. So,
Yeah,
Mm,
fair enough.
yeah, I got good at Pac-Man.
oh yeah.
Pac-Man, Space Invaders. I was good at.
Yeah. Space.
Well, that
Invaders
kind
is
of that kind of sort of answers, I know, some of Play Wars and Torchcraft's questions, because they were asking about Halo and your experience with Halo, and so I guess that kind of answers that question. Let's see. Let me.
Almost in a way, I think it's good that I don't know it, because I'd kind of rather, come to you guys if I have a specific question about the universe, and then run stuff by you when I'm, adding some character to Pops.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not know in a way.
Yeah, and we've had some really fun discussions with up in Seattle about the character in the show and stuff like that, and that was a really fun way to kind of digest and get our ideas around the character and stuff. So let me see. I'm looking up other questions here. Oh, okay. So a lot of them, most of these questions are for you, Dean. They like everybody wants to know. Somebody, was it? Jakob says, what is your favorite color? Your answer will determine where the next bomb will be planted.
What is that?
Choose carefully.
I mean, do we consider black a color? I mean, some people will say no, but
Yeah, you know what? I think it
that's
counts.
absolutely a color.
It's on
the people who say no are wrong, and I don't
Yeah.
want to know. So, because
Yeah,
they're
this is
Good answer.
All right.
Why does he? What is this character?
I don't know.
Sorry.
The more
I
questions you
can't.
ask, the worse it
White dude
gets.
with dreads.
Yeah.
He's just like,
All right, we've
one
got
of his moves. He's like
Meme Lord
thrusting.
Revan's question. What is your favorite memory from voice acting?
Oh boy! Well, honestly, Pops has been fantastic. I've loved it. Every minute of it. Meeting all you guys. I mean, just starting kind of blind going into it, and coming up with working with you and getting kind of the base of the character, and then just developing him, getting him more of a backstory. Just kind of. And after also learning the characters, kind of getting how I react to each of them individually, as well as the game. So Pops has been fantastic to play. Because I'm an old guy. So Pops and I are probably very much alike in that aspect, and that we are, we take care of people. And so it's kind of like Dad, hey, Pops, Pops is the father figure. He'll square you away if you need to be, but he's gonna take care of you more than anything.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah. I've always thought
Yeah,
Pops is
I've,
like the glue that's holding the team together. He's definitely.
What were you gonna say, Benji?
I gotta say, it's like so. Ever since I've been brought on as the editor, especially with episode 7, like I was fascinated by Leo's voice acting for that episode especially, and I gotta say, I had a little trouble with it because I'm kind of new to syncing up like audio and scenes like that, because I'm used to working with either just straight up a video or doing audio, and this is a more route for editing. But I gotta say, when it came to the conversation between you and Leo when you guys were playing your characters, it was pretty great, and I've really come to love just sitting there and listening to that when I put it together.
Thanks, that means a lot.
I know for me, when I try to imagine, what each interaction is like in my head. I mean, I think it might be fun sometime to get together and record it as a group. I don't know if that would ever be feasible. I've mentioned for a while I'd love to do a table read, which I think would be just a lot of fun to get together, and everybody, we can get together and do a table read of one of the prior scripts, or just have like a little off script, just a little side quest.
Oh yeah. That'd be
Crash
fun.
side quests. That's the name of that series.
Yeah, I like the idea. We talked about that up in Seattle, and I really like that idea. It's more that logistically, the cast of the show is just kind of all over the country, and so it's it's an expensive and time-consuming endeavor for us to get everybody together for events and stuff like that. But I would love to do a table read. I think it would be good for like an important episode, like a season finale or something like that, and where you can record that, or even like a season premiere or something. And that can be a behind-the-scenes thing, because that way we can release that as like some extra stuff. I definitely want to do more events with the cast and crew, like more cons and stuff like that. I went to a local Comic-Con the other day actually, and that was really fun. And I kept thinking to myself, it would be really fun to set up a booth there and sell some merch. I'm just wondering if people would be interested in making a drive or whatever to like visit us, of all people, at a con. You know what I mean?
I think they would. I mean, especially in the Discord for the community, I've seen a lot of people like eagerly, a bunch of them actually have like even thought of grouping up with each other to go to places. And
yeah, I've seen that.
Some of them are interested and ask, like, I think a couple have tried asking you before. It's like, hey, would we be able to see you guys there?
Yeah, it's super hard. I'm still paying off the Airbnb from Seattle, so one of the reasons I was like, probably not this year, because I was like, it's just a little too expensive. If the show grows significantly and our budget goes up a lot, then we definitely consider it. But or at least I would definitely consider it. But we actually have a Torch on the Torchcraft left a list of questions for Dean, so I'm going to get to the other ones there. Dean, what did you do in the military?
I was a 13 Bravo field artillery.
So what did that look like? Like, what was your day-to-day like?
You know what a tank looks like. So imagine that with a much longer and bigger around barrel.
Could you explain to me what a tank looks like? I don't know what they look like.
Yeah, kind of looks like me. You know, I'm the tank, and
that is such a Leo joke. That is such a Leo joke. That's excellent. Actually.
That's why it got me so. Oh my god.
No, it's so basically, yeah, that's what it is. You know, day-to-day life, and there's pretty much like any other day-to-day life of military guys. You're running around doing shit that really doesn't make any sense to anybody else. There's a lot of busy work, especially for folks who are, you know, combat arms, because you're not always out there, you know, blowing things up. You're spending a lot of time in the day to day was mostly spending time in the motor pool, working on your vehicles, because each crew had a gun. So the 150 M109 howitzer, which is 155 meter self-propelled, and then you got a back then we had a 548, which was our ammo carrier. I don't know what's the thing now, but a 548 was just basically a tracked truck that carried about 100 rounds of 150 millimeter, as well as powder. So if I ever got hit, because I drove the ammo carrier, if I ever got hit, I was just missed. So so I didn't need to worry about pain or anything. I would just be gone.
So realistically, if I were to get hit by around that 150 millimeter, do you think I could live?
Well, the kill radius on that is about 100 meters. So.
Oh yeah, I could survive that. That's nothing.
I was gonna say, those things are specifically designed to kill you. So if you survive that, I've got bigger questions.
Is that what they refer to as grid square removers?
I've never heard that term myself. I mean, not that things haven't, jargon hasn't been updated in the military in some time. There's a guy I watch on YouTube and TikTok. What's it called?
Is his name by chance Nico Ortiz Riddle?
What's up?
Is this name like along the lines of Nico by chance?
No, it's Mandatory Fun Day.
Okay.
And he is, I'm guessing he's still in the military, because I do see him in his BDUs quite often. I think he's he's a lieutenant, but
Oh.
he's funny as hell, and he talks about, you know, if he's you know, to veterans especially, he's like, you know, you got a veteran friend, go up and ask him, didn't you have duty today? And watch him, you know, and or didn't you have somewhere to be?
Oh,
So,
no.
it's the kind of things that, you know, never go away. And, you know, having formation, because every time I've listened to him talking about military stuff, it really resonates to me. And he's a funny guy, so
Oh yeah.
I highly recommend him. Mandatory Fun Day.
Mandatory Fun Day. All right, I'll check him out. Yeah.
Yeah, he has some cool stuff. Like, he has some cool merch. One of my favorite ones is because he's trying to, you know, make things good for veterans, and, you know, keep them alive. And so he's got these shirts with like little cute animals on them, and it'll say "faster than the forever yeet," talking about keeping yourself alive. And you know, I exist out of spite is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
That's
a good one.
excellent.
All right, wait, we got some more questions here. Marsh on the server asks, question for Dean, what is your favorite role you've done so far for voice work? If there's a particular reason, I'd love to hear it.
I mean, honestly, it's been Pops. I mean, it's been consistent. I mean, I did have one that was it was funny just because of the writing for it, and I was playing a like chief of detectives from New York, and it was, I can't say what it is because I don't want to out anybody for their writing.
But
it was funny, just, you know, because the request was that I try to sound like Joe Pantaleone. So it was it was funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
But yeah,
I've
Pops. I mean, I can't think of any other character because Pops is really kind of a beginning for me, genesis of who I've become as a voice actor. And I've done, you know, little things here and there, you know, video game trailers or what have you, you know, podcast intros, outros, just little things one off here and there. But yeah, Pops has been consistent. It has been really fun to develop. I mean, we're coming up on 8 episodes. This is the closest I've ever known a character. And I, you know, when I do my acting, I have my acting class. Well, we're doing rehearsals on Saturdays now for a upcoming live stream play that we're doing. I think that's going to be in March, but we're rehearsing. But then, but yeah, getting to know those characters, but it's not really voice work. I mean, actually, I'm on screen. And so it's kind of like a table read, but with action.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
okay,
Very
nice.
I think an accident almost just happened outside. So I live on a really busy corner because I now live in an apartment building, and someone just flew by honking their horn, and I
my
thought I was about to
God.
hear a crash outside. It scared the hell out of me.
Jesus.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
We
Yeah, I
was
hope
gonna
everybody's
say-
okay.
Yeah, me too. That's.
I hope he's
that's
not.
good. Huh?
Believe it or not,
Okay.
we have another question for Dean. This is from Jericho.
Next question.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
next,
that's-
next question.
Next
Move
question.
on. Jericho asks, Dean, are there any people in your life, career, or media that you draw inspiration from for Pops?
Oh boy. I would say Raylan Givens, Timothy Oliphant from and Justified. Just he's calm and cool, but he will not hesitate to pull the trigger. He cares about people. He's one of them. trying to think who else. A bit of Negan.
Ooh, okay.
That's
interesting
interesting.
choice.
Just the confidence part.
Yeah, yeah. I can.
I'm a big fan of Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
so yeah. And maybe a bit of Lee Marvin from back in the day.
Okay.
Huh? Well,
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
yeah, that's a great answer. I love Raylan Givens. I've been watching Justified recently, and that's been super cool and super fun. It's such a fun show. Actually, you know what? That's a good question for you as well, Leo. What kind of characters or what do you pull from for Duke?
For Duke, this was difficult because like the first episode when I did it, I kind of phoned it in and I felt really bad about it. I've never phoned in anything else since. But mostly, that's difficult. Because a lot of the character was like my personality. I remember you did say, what is it? Who was it? Who's the Soul Survivor? Oh, that's his name. Soul Survivor from Fallout 4. His like sarcastic. That was the original direction. And then I based it off the voice off of Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat 10 and 11. That guy. Can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Yeah, I meant to add one that I should have named first. Troy Baker is Joel.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Troy
yeah,
Baker.
okay.
That's a good one. Yeah. Joel's great.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
then I'd say probably a bit of Mirage from Apex Legends, and that's it. That's my. I kind of just winged it.
I love the guy who acts for him. Roger Craig Smith. right?
Roger Craig Smith, yeah, he's great.
He's amazing.
Oh, yeah. I really liked him as Cal Crane in Dying Light.
Now we have a question. It's also from Jericho for me. Boom. What made Dean's audition stick out to you more than the other voice actors that applied? Dean's voice has a sort of like warmth to it that I was like, I need to be able to see the character as somebody who could convincingly have that sort of side of warmth and accessibility as a person, but then could believably have project authority in situations when it was necessary. And Dean's voice just did that perfectly. And so it was really a no-brainer. As soon as I heard him, I was like, I think you Dean, I think you auditioned for Duke first. And then I heard you, and I was instantly I think you should try for this role. And then I heard you doing the lines, and I was like, that's not even fair for everybody else. That's just we got that on lock now.
Oh yeah. Since I've watched Red vs. Blue, I now realize that a lot of people who are auditioning for Pops were trying to do a Sarge impression, if I remember correctly. Because I remember listening to it, I'm like, that's not what I was thinking about for that character, but sure. Oh.
Yeah.
It's just left such a big impact. That's you can't think of Machinima without Red vs. Blue oftentimes.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
I think that's what makes a lot of characters really unique, is that a lot of the voice actors haven't really seen Red vs. Blue. I'm not sure,
I haven't.
I don't know. Yeah, Dean, I forgot to ask if you have. But
I watched.
I never
when we went to Seattle, I watched a little bit of it with the folks there.
Yeah, we were all hanging out watching the Chorus trilogy, which is season 11 through 13.
How was that?
I mean, I liked it.
Oh. I was curious because I'm on season 5.
I like season 5. 5 and 6 are my favorites.
So far, my favorite was probably, oh man, I don't know. I really liked the first season because it felt really just beginning, middle, end. It was very and then a few
that's so
seasons
funny
after that,
because I
felt
feel
it was just setting up the next season to the next season.
It's funny because I feel like season 1 of Red vs. Blue is the one that had the least amount of planning put into it, because they just made it and they're like, oh, this is successful. Let's just keep going.
It's crazy.
I was always saying if they ever did a reboot or anything of Red vs. Blue, it would be cool for them to do a story that it doesn't tie into the overarching. It doesn't care at least about the overarching plot line. It just does the big sort of crazy, silly storyline of just two characters hanging out and chatting and whatever, because I feel like that would be. That's the energy that I kind of miss personally. But let's see. Texas asks, my question is, when exactly does Crash take place? Or is that spoilers? No, it takes place in like mid 2554. That's not particularly a spoiler. I don't know if we've ever stated it exactly, but it's a year after the war ends, which is technically March 2553. So it's like, yeah, it's a year after that. Oh, let's see. No. Question for Dean. How is your day going?
That's a great
So
question.
far, so good.
That's from the Cobalt Spartan.
Put a bunch of groceries away.
Hey.
Excellent.
Let's see, what else did I do? My girlfriend got me this really nice espresso maker for Christmas,
Oh.
and I've been drinking coffee like it's going out of style. I mean, I've even working on trying to do the latte art.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't
Okay.
figured it out yet, but I'm getting close.
Yeah, send us progress on that.
was about to
I'd
say,
love
yeah,
to see
when
how
you-
you do leaves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even that close. I could right now. I'm almost getting the right texture to do it.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
that's
you're
fair.
getting there. Yep.
It's tough to get the right frothiness of the milk.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you can't get too frothy, otherwise you're just making a cappuccino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got another question from Torch. I didn't run through all the list of questions there. Torch asks for Dean, what kind of dog do you have? Wait, do you have a dog, Dean?
His name is Shadow, and he is 8 years old now. He is a mix of Pit Bull and Doberman.
Oh, okay.
How did Torch know that you have a dog and I don't? I feel like that just like how did
What
Torch
if-
know to
what if he-
ask
what
that
if
question?
Torch-
Got insider
What
info.
if Torch
Yeah.
had
You
no idea?
probably could have found a social
I
profile.
probably
for
sound
him.
like a dog person.
Yeah, that's fair.
Torch had like no idea. It was just a shot in the dark.
Has Boom ever come to you with questions about military stuff? That's a great question. I don't actually remember.
I don't recall you ever doing that. I mean, you may have asked me about my experiences, and I don't know if you've ever used that, but I don't remember you ever asking me anything specific.
Yeah, I don't recall ever doing that. I've grown up around a lot of people who are military. Like, I have a lot of friends and family who are military, so it's like I just kind of have like a big library mentally to kind of pull from experientially, like from what they've told me that I can kind of inject into the show a little bit. And so
Yeah, my experience in the military and what I did in combat arms is going to be well different than what Fixer does. So-
Ah, yeah.
yeah, that makes sense, right?
I mean, soldiers are soldiers, but it's and at the end of the day, we're all a bunch of dummies, told to go where we're going to go and eat when we're told to eat, and all that kind of shit. So it's not a it's kind of a boring day to day, but when we get into when the shit hits the fan and we need to do something, we have our duties that we do, and everybody's is different. Fixer's going to go out on point, start scouting around and doing their thing, taking people out. I'm going to be about 10 miles behind everybody, shooting hundreds of rounds downrange to take out positions, so that
Yeah,
folks
Fixer would be like, hey, we need this thing removed.
right.
And you're like, all right, tell me where it is.
Yeah, and then we just go fire mission, and then just start loading up the cannons with 155 millimeter rounds, and probably about a bag of powder that's let's see how big it's probably. I don't know. We'll say 7 inches across, and its price stands 2.5 feet high. So that's how big of a bag of of accelerant is going to be for the high explosive round that you're about to send downrange.
Wow.
So
Yeah. Last question from Torch is, can you give us your best dad joke?
Okay, now this is important.
oh boy, I've heard so many, and I'm
Putting on the spot, I know.
I don't, this is kind of a dad joke, but it's not. but it's not a what did somebody do with something, or how one. So it's let me tell the joke and then you can decide if it's a dad joke because it's dad worthy.
All right.
I think. So
All right.
there's an old man, an old woman, living in an old folks home, and the old man comes up to the old lady and he says, "You know what? I bet you can't tell how old I am." She goes, "Yeah, I can." And he goes, "What?" He goes, she says, "I can tell how old you are." And he goes, "How's that?" She goes, "Pull your pants down and I'll show you." So he pulls his pants down and she reaches in between his legs and starts playing. She's just feeling around for like a minute. And then she takes her hand back and she goes, "You're 87. And he's like, "What? How did you know that?" She goes, "You told me yesterday."
Okay.
All right.
Oh man, I did not expect that.
That was great.
Oh, all right.
Oh
Well,
my
there you have
god.
it, Torch. I hope that suffices. I think that works as a dad joke.
That's fantastic. Oh my god.
It's one of my favorites.
That's a great one.
I still think the greatest dad joke I've ever heard is about a blind guy. He walks, bumps, and falls into a well. I guess he didn't see that well.
You're going into soup for that one, Leo. I'm sorry.
Man, that was great. Thanks.
That's
man.
my
Thank
favorite
you.
dad. It is the
Appreciate that.
perfect joke. It is perfect.
Yeah,
That
I
is
send
amazing.
I send my girlfriend ones, and I know if I can get her to groan, that I've won. I've won the day.
There you go.
That one hurt, Leo.
It really did.
Like it wasn't even particularly like sometimes it's like it's clever. I'm like that wasn't even that clever. It was just painful.
That's why it's so perfect. I love that joke. It's my favorite.
it gets
dad
a
joke.
reaction out of people. It's
Yeah.
visceral.
I suppose that's what's most
told that
important, right? We also have another question for Dean from Caboose 15, who asks, "How do you think the other characters view Pops?"
I think they all definitely trust him. They trust him. They feel safe with him. He's a leader, so there's always going to be those who don't want to. They just want to not. I mean, especially like Duke starting out. But I think for the most part, that that they all are fond of him in some way, shape, or form. Lily's obviously protective of him, and he is of her. I think that he really likes his crew, and I think they sense that.
Yeah, I think there's a deep respect for Pops as a character amongst all the members of the crew, and I don't know. It's like I always kind of picture for Crash and Pops because trying to be in his mind about how I write the interactions between them is that there's obviously sort of like a mentor-mentee relationship between Crash and Pops, but the way they interact feels distinctly like I don't know how you put it. I guess they see in a way they see each other as peers. You know what I mean? Pops is less of a father figure for Crash and more of a friend. Obviously, there's still kind of like this thing where he will default to Pop's leadership and his wisdom on things because of his experience and his position of authority over Fixer. But there's very few people that Crash inherently trusts as much as he trusts Pops, and I think that goes for a lot of the characters in the show as well. And so I think we've done a good job of really giving Fixer a sense of history.
Yeah.
You watch the show, and at least for me, I feel like you can sense the history between the characters. Actually, right when we came out with one of the first episodes, somebody said, is there a comic or a series or something that came before this? Because I feel like I'm missing a lot of context. And I found that funny as like a comment because it feels like, yeah, I mean, you kind of would be missing a lot of context if you kind of just started following these characters around and you're hearing offhanded remarks about things that you haven't seen yet. But I mean, personally, I find that to be more compelling and more interesting because it makes you like feel like you want to learn more about the team and the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
If everything was spelled out for you, it wouldn't nearly be as interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing that would keep you from, you know, doing like maybe a flashback episode type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That builds on some of the backstory of each of the characters.
Yeah, for sure. I think personally, I would like to do if we did flashback style stuff. I would rather do that like after we've like established a lot of the characters through dialogue, because I'd rather like, I don't want people to learn anything all that new through a flashback. You know, I'd rather get for them to see it happen, but like, and maybe, you know, I feel like I just want to keep things low key, and so that way it's like, there's always more to learn about these characters. You know, you don't know everything about these characters, and you're not going to know everything about these characters, but you're going to get little hints here or there, and it's much more interesting for the viewer to kind of put things together themselves.
Oh yeah.
And I actually think our audience is really good at that. Like, I think they've done a great job of putting together these characters' kind of profiles in their heads, and with very little information, and it's been pretty accurate for the most part. And so,
Oh yeah.
I think it would be. I mean, my idea of something like a flashback would more be to experience something that caused like emotional trauma moment.
oh yeah,
You know.
yeah,
Where you're revisiting something that's in Duke's head, Crash's head, whoever, that they experienced, and you're just kind of watching it as they would have watched it
yeah.
and how it affected them. Not necessarily that it has to be, you know, Pops grew up on a farm and needed, you know, it's
that's a good
more
point.
like a flashback within an episode of where someone is experiencing something and you kind of flash back to the time that character had this thing happen that has always been a problem for them. That
Yeah,
type of
kind of
thing.
like Daredevil, the first season of Daredevil. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I haven't watched it.
I think technically we kind of had something like that at the start of episode 7 with the dream sequence, the nightmare sequence that Crash is having.
Oh yeah.
Like, I thought that was an interesting way of being able to do something kind of like that, because it was a way of it's not so much of a flashback, because it's like there's details missing from the dream. It's like very abstract imagery, but it still gets the idea across of what he's dreaming about, but it's not the full picture. I actually thought, it just occurred to me that if we were trying to sit down and establish old stories about characters, having them open up is a good thing to do also. But I'd kind of like the idea if we do another bonfire moment where the characters are sitting around, and because there's new people on the team, they have the chance to explain some stories to like Wesley and Target, who are new. And so that way they can be the surrogate for the audience, or just hearing the characters. I don't know. For me, it's more emotionally compelling to hear these characters like talk about it, and that way you get the reaction to the stories. Like, maybe somebody's embarrassed and doesn't want the story coming out. Maybe you can see how maybe they've maybe they're still annoyed by this or kind of upset by this, or maybe they now laugh about it. And there's just a lot of cool character stuff you can do that way. You know what I mean? And so I'm always kind of looking for moments like that where we can do. I think less is more, and so it's like, how can we do as much as possible with as little? You know what I mean? Like, how can we have as much of an emotional impact on the audience without being over the top? How can we communicate the most with saying the least? You know what I mean? So sometimes less is more, but I'm definitely open to flashback, especially the kind that you're talking about, Dean. I think that's a great idea.
You don't have to have any dialogue in it or anything.
Yeah,
Just,
for sure.
Exposition through action.
Yeah,
visual storytelling.
I love wordless storytelling. Like, it's one of my favorite things is when you get characters being able to like just, when you as the audience are having to kind of follow along, it makes you instead of it being explained to you directly,
You get invested.
Yeah, you get invested because you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself like, oh well, you're trying to figure it out in the same way that the characters are. I remember there's a big mystery element obviously in Crash, and I remember I had the thought to myself early on that I was like, instead of explaining everything externally, you're not going to get all the answers to all of the mystery. I think the answers will be kind of hinted at there, but you're going to know enough in the same way that Fixer is going to learn enough. So you're going to know exactly what Fixer knows, maybe a little bit more if you kind of watch Farside Files, but like to keep the show, with such a big story, in order to make it something that you can actually follow, I think that it makes sense to have Fixer be the vehicle of like what the audience should know, right? If there's something confusing in the story, well, people will be a lot more tolerant of something confusing in the story if Fixer's also confused by it and tried to figure it out. Do you know what I mean? And so occasionally having them speak to each other and explain things also keeps people up to date with the story. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
because with people like Duke or with Peanut, they're not going to be following along perfectly all the time. So like, explanations will be necessary, but it's a fun.
Never
it's
sure
fun to
what
write.
Peanut's thinking anyway. So
Yeah, he's an enigma. It's, I don't know. That's my thoughts on that. There's a question. I guess this is for all of us. What are some of your favorite characters in fiction, TV shows, movies, etc.? And this is from Jones on the server.
Ooh,
Barrel Roll Jones specifically.
fiction.
I gave you Rayla Givens already. Right now, probably my favorite is Jack Reacher on the Reacher series.
Oh yeah,
Alan
cool,
Ritchson
yeah.
does a great job of playing him.
Yeah.
that's a pretty good one.
I've started. There's a new series came out last year that they just released the second season on Netflix called The Recruit, which is a lot of fun.
Oh.
And the kid who plays the main character looks like a mid-20s Mark Ruffalo. I mean, exactly. You would guess, because I wouldn't look. I'm like, he's got to be his kid or something. But no, he just looks a hell of a lot like Mark Ruffalo.
I saw somebody was watching that. I saw clips of it, and yeah, that
Really
seemed
good.
like a very interesting show.
I thought you were talking
The
about
show-
the Rookie, the Nathan Fillion show for a second, but no, it's
Oh,
I looked
no.
it up. No, it's Recruit.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's on Netflix. The other we've been watching The Gentleman. It was a Guy Ritchie movie that they made, and then they made a short run series out of it with different characters, but still really good. Highly recommend if you like Guy Ritchie stuff.
Oh, okay. Leo, who are some of your favorite characters?
Favorite, like fictional characters. I really like Batman, of course. Superhero stuff. Like, I don't know. Batman is just really appealing. Like as a character, he's really cool. And then, oh man, I like like whenever I get asked a question like this, my brain just vanishes. I don't know where it's at. There's
It just
nothing
leaves
going
you.
on. Yeah.
It's like just flakes on you. Now you have to think for yourself.
Yeah, I actually like I'm trying to think of like video games, like video game characters. I really like Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. He's really interesting.
Oh, he's a good character.
He's really cool, yeah. Oof, I think. Spider-Man, I can go back to superheroes. I love Spider-Man. Like, if I ever get a chance, the one character I'd like to voice, like, ever is probably Spider-Man. I really enjoy him. He's great.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's all I have.
Pow, what about you? What are some of
Batman,
your favorite
Spider-Man.
favorite
Dang.
characters?
Good question. So kind of like Leo, and possibly even more so because I'm playing a video game, but I'll do my best. I forget his name, but the main character that Steve Bloom plays on Cowboy Bebop.
Oh,
There's just
Spike.
a certain kind of Spike. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but there's a certain kind of like coolness about him, not like over the top, but I don't know what it is. Just a certain charm to his character, and then dang, it's all I
Yeah,
can think
I-
of right now.
Now that I'm thinking of
I mean, of
Steve
course, I
Bloom.
could do like something, possibly overrated, and say someone like Frodo, and the reason
Oh,
I
yeah.
say that is not because Lord of the Rings, but
Rings.
because his character is that in the midst of all kinds of magic and powerful armies and all kinds of craziness going on, he is very humble, a very like unseeming person to be carrying such a great responsibility.
Yeah.
And you know, that kind of weight on someone's shoulders and the temptation to give into that power and not doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
That's a
Like-
really
Like that is some fantastic writing, which, you know, it's not a show originally or movie. Originally it was a book, but
Yep.
you know, it doesn't matter. It was still good writing. But in the midst of fighting an army of you know, French gang members, that's the best I can come up with.
I was gonna say, with Frodo too. I don't remember where I heard it, but he basically stood like zero chance, and he would always, like, no matter what he did or anything, he would always give in to the ring last second. And so that was really intriguing to me, is that he was very underqualified, yet he still succeeded through everything, through all that. Like, especially, yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
Oh,
When you said
careful.
Steve Bloom, I'm gonna throw in the Zombies crew from Call of Duty Zombies, all of them. They're great.
The heck was that? What
You
the,
playing,
Dude,
what
what
just
the
happened?
heck was that?
That was so funny.
I don't even know what happened.
I don't even know.
You got beat by the
Dude,
I'm
no.
afraid.
That was my last life? Oh, no.
Dude,
Oh,
you weren't even paying
dude.
attention.
I wasn't. Oh, man.
Yeah, it sucks.
Dang, guess we gotta start over. Dang.
Well.
All right.
You know what? Skill issue.
It is a skill issue.
But
But yeah, Benji, what are some of your favorite fictional characters?
I love the little red guy from Among Us. No, no.
Okay.
More recent examples in my memory, I can't think of any off the top of my head from older media. But I bet if I glossed back, I definitely know. But off the top of my head, from more recent media that I have seen, it would have to be silent protagonists like Subject 106 from Trepang 2 and Gordon Freeman.
Gordon Freeman.
Whereas Subject 106 is a clone super soldier who, you know, was kind of just thrown into that, and Gordon made the mess
Why
himself.
does that kind of look like
Kinda
Aaron
caused
Paul?
all of it. But it really
I
does.
don't know.
Is that Aaron Paul?
That would be
It
really
could
funny if
be.
that was Aaron Paul.
Wait, can I add Jesse? I'm adding every character that gets brought up now. I'm adding Jesse to my favorite
I think
fictional
I
characters.
think the main thing that sticks out to me about those guys are the fact that they were literally just average people doing their job.
Oh, yeah.
Like like the whole thing with 106 is, you know, as far as you remember in the game, you wake up in a black site and you were being tortured. And it turns out that whole time your memory was erased because the corporation that was trying to extract information out of you, you know, all those experiments had done some damage to you. And you spend the whole game thinking, hey, that Horizon are your enemies, and they are. They are not good people, but they are something of the lesser two evils. And there's been this cycle.
Did he shoot himself?
You are subject
I don't know.
106.
I looked away. Is that what
And there are
happened?
so many of them.
Well, I don't know, but he's back.
All right, we've got
Jesse
about.
shot himself.
I guess we've got about 20.
I'm so sorry for
minutes
interrupting
left
you,
on
Benji.
this
No, you're good.
podcast, so
But what is it? You were the 106th subject. Like, there was a long line of clones, and a lot of the game you spent fighting not just Horizon, but you spent fighting the old subjects who broke loose. But unlike all of them, you were the first one to actually, like, break the cycle. Because I never fully understood, but basically you work for the Syndicate, which, you know, if you couldn't tell from a name like that, villains.
Yeah. probably,
But-
yeah.
And you were fighting, and Anton Lazar is the head of Horizon, and I forget what subject number his was, maybe 97? But he was originally a clone for them. And you spend the game fighting your way to get to him and eliminate him. And at the end of the game, it turns out he'd preserved you, like he'd cloned you himself. And you know, I wonder how the next game is gonna go if they do make it.
Oh
But
yeah.
at the end of the day, it really comes down to you're a guy doing his job, and the government that is using you seeks to just, you know, wipe you clean from the face of the earth when you're done.
Yeah, like Gordon Freeman.
And it is.
Yeah.
And the whole story of that game is something that really sticks out to me because it's a nice representation of the modern world, of how people will make their own enemies. Because you have cultists being led by another subject that was just doing his job, who broke away from the syndicate. You have Anton, who broke away from the syndicate because he realized he was just a means to an end and he was going to be wiped off the face of the earth.
Man,
And
you should make a
you-
video
Like
about
your
this
thing.
game.
You
I
should.
think I already did, pal.
Oh man.
And it's got horrible audio quality.
I feel that.
I mean, I was in a rush. I had 3 days before I shipped off to boot camp, so I can't say I, could have put like way too much more there. I couldn't re-record the whole game,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, it's the game's got an amazing story when you really look into it because it's not one of those that's on the surface as you go. Like I don't know, what's that rat game that Plague Tale?
5 Nights at oh.
you just say
Five Nights at, yeah, Five Nights at, yeah, let's go with Five Nights at Freddy's. It's not in your
sure.
face and as obvious as Five Nights at Freddy's where you have to survive 5 nights from Freddy. This one, you actually have to piece the game together through in-world documentation and intel you can find, which I love.
Yeah.
I love when games do that. I had to piece
That
it
sounds
together
pretty cool.
myself.
Yeah. I was gonna say, now I'm thinking of, was it fictional characters that were just like doing their jobs? Tommy Angelo from Mafia, he was just like a taxi driver, and then like it's really amazing on how quick he became a member of the Mafia, and how it's just really crazy, and him trying to get out of it throughout the game. It's really crazy. It's a great story.
Somewhat reminds me of Nico Bellic from Grand Theft Auto 4.
Nico, oh man, I haven't played Grand Theft Auto 4. Has
Nico's
anybody else
great.
here played it?
Yeah, I love Grand Theft Auto 4.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 4 is probably my favorite.
I hear a lot of people say that. I haven't checked out myself.
So
But yeah, next question.
So,
yeah,
So,
I think that's probably the last of the questions we're gonna get to this episode. So we're just gonna hang out and chill for now.
Oh yeah.
So,
Gambling guy, you should eat your $100 bill.
oh
Dean,
yeah,
do you
I forgot
voice
about the
act-
gambling question. Texas asked the gambling question, but I guess that answers that.
Eat that $100 bill. Consume it. Tasty.
call it investment.
Call it investment.
I'm out of things to talk about today personally. We're very professional, and I was. Is there anything particularly interesting going on in like pop culture? Because I haven't really been paying attention, honestly.
Well, I look like I use the internet too.
Drake
Well,
lawsuits.
have you seen everything that's going on in DC?
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. The
Oof.
plane crash. That's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, you got
There's
the
been
DC,
another one,
you got
too.
the plane crash, you got the Nazi salutes, you got.
Yeah, dude. Crazy.
Oh my god, it's
Crazy.
It's a pretty intriguing world we live in right now.
it's spicy times in the
Pretty
U.S.
interesting, yeah.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Here's hoping
was
that
gonna
this
say-
is a conversation that will really date the video and will not continue to be a thing to be talked about later on.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you guys know pennies have a weird taste to them?
Yes. I've tasted
It's not weird to
various
me.
metals.
No, pull one out of your wallet right now and try it.
Have you tried it, Benji?
Tastes like I'm
Yes.
bleeding.
Do you
on
know
the
how
inside.
many? You know how many germs that could probably like kill you?
Oh, you don't clean your
Let's
money?
go.
Okay, you're.
Yeah, I
see
don't
you're
clean my money, bro.
Okay, I see. Okay,
My
gross. man.
racks are already
Gross.
pristine.
What are you gonna tell me? What are you gonna tell me? You shower next?
What was that, Dean?
I said I launder money all the time.
Oh yeah, accidentally, I assume.
I shower with my money.
I like to throw my wallet in the washing machine.
I did
I
that
accidentally
once.
leave my wallet in the washing
This was
machine
actually
sometimes.
a sting operation to get Dean to admit to that.
Oh my god.
Well, after an hour of
Ladies and
talking, we
gentlemen,
finally got him. Book
we
'em,
got 'em.
boys.
After a year and a half of making him be on the show,
Yeah.
Quick, post
Most
the audition.
elaborate sting operation
this
ever.
is like
Crash.
Argo 2.
Yeah,
You know, that'd
Crash
be- that'd be
isn't
a
even
cool-
real.
I would
It's-
love a story of like a cop who's like, I gotta start a sting operation, and then he starts it and he goes undercover as something, but then he realizes he likes doing that more than being a cop.
What if
He's
this
like,
is how they
"This is
caught
pretty
Al
fun."
Capone? They had him on a podcast and made him admit to tax evasion.
So, Al.
Yeah, so Al, taxes, you know, those are pretty
Taxes,
stupid.
huh?
Big Capone.
Oh, you guys
Hey,
pay
Give
the
look.
us
rest.
your money.
Those taxes are stupid. They're really ridiculous. What do you think, Al?
You
say,
know,
say it into my
If you
say
make
it into
enough
my
money,
chest right here.
They don't charge you taxes.
Remember,
Oh.
kids, you can't hide from the IRS.
Well, I
Not
am
that attitude, you
happy
can't.
to announce that, spoiler alert, my computer does in fact work.
That's
I'm
good.
I'm really excited and happy about that because, you know, I can do everything I need to again, working on music, playing games, hanging out with these guys.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Why would you
I'm
be
just-
happy
I'm
about
just so
hanging out with
happy.
us?
Believe it or not, I actually like being around y'all. That's why I'm around you as much as I am.
I'm glad somebody is.
Hey
'cause
pal, I have an idea for a special we could do one day. So, you know how you were using your laptop in the meantime, right?
Yeah.
So, what if, you know, for like the special that we could do, you take your laptop and you hook up a controller to it and a wireless headset, and you stick it in an oven at 700 degrees and let it warm up, and you do the podcast from that laptop.
Wait,
and
in the
we-
oven?
Yeah,
do the
yeah. No, 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 no,
podcast
no, no,
while
no,
it's
no,
Where's this
no,
going?
no, no.
Like,
Not you. You put the laptop in the oven and you play with the laptop in the oven. You look through the oven window, and you know that's how you do the
okay.
episode. And we live through the final moments of your laptop as one final hurrah.
Okay, I see.
I kinda like
Okay,
where this is
that
going,
makes a
honestly.
little more sense. A little more sense.
Yeah.
This will do numbers on YouTube.
We'll
I had a battery
we'll
explode in my pocket.
we'll
once.
investigate.
Wait,
this.
hold on, what? What was that, Leo?
What? Huh?
You had a battery explode in your pocket once?
I went to Walmart. So I had a sonic screwdriver
where it always
from Doctor
happens.
Who that was like a toy.
Which one?
It was kind of like, so I remember I had one. I'm trying to remember. It was both David Tennant's and Matt Smith's sonic screwdriver because it could switch out pieces and you can have different pieces. to
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty.
know
It was
what
pretty
you're talking
cool.
about.
Yeah, so I had it, and I needed to get new batteries for it, and they were like these really tiny little watch batteries. And
Mhm.
so I stuck one in my pocket while we are going to Walmart, and I get out of the car and I hear this loud pop, and I feel my leg kind of hurt. And I'm like, ow, okay, I don't know what that was. So I reached my hand into my pocket, and sure enough, the battery was like squished. It was kinda-
How did you manage to do that?
and I don't know. All I did was just get out of the car. Yeah, and blew up in my pocket, and then I never got batteries for it, and now I have no idea where it's at. It's gone. It's in the ether.
All
Or
right.
Aether. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Have you tried looking for it?
No.
You know, I hear that's what you do
Actually-
when things are lost and you want to find them. You gotta look for them, man.
Really? I kind of just
Yeah, I only
like,
found that
too
out
much work.
yesterday. I was
Too
born
much work for
7 days
Leo.
ago.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's
work for
amazing
me.
he
I
can even
can't
get his lines in.
It's amazing that I could even show up here. Early.
Yeah. You got here before.
Is this the
Boom did,
first
believe it or
episode?
did.
Is this the
Yeah,
first episode that
Boom.
Leo isn't late to?
I got here before
think,
Boom
I
did.
think so. I think
Shut
so.
up. No, it's not the first. Please.
I think
God,
it
don't
might
let it
be.
the first. Oh my God. How many episodes are we on?
I think this is episode 5.
5
That's
episodes I was late to.
5
Ending it all.
episodes too many.
Yeah. 5 episodes too many. I
Yeah.
hate doing podcasts.
I think this is the first episode in a while where we haven't done anything like brain rot jokes or anything like
It's
that.
because Dean's here. We're on our best behavior.
You're
Well, that's
on your
crazy
list,
because
enough
we've
of
been
that.
around him. He
No.
he dishes it out as well as the rest of us.
Yeah, I know.
Just absolutely deranged things. You don't have to behave
Trust me,
around him.
I stayed with him.
Taking
and
it
the
easy
rest,
on you guys.
Yeah, I stayed with him and the rest of the cast in Seattle. You had no idea the ridiculous conversations we got up to while we were there. I don't even want to repeat them. They're not suitable for the
It's nice to
podcast.
actually be able to talk to Dean because I missed. I was actually not able to attend the last one.
Me either.
Yeah,
I was kind of like just.
I do
crying
want to do
before.
that again. Maybe if not HGS, like doing a big event like PAX or like Comic Con, like a bigger Comic Con or something like that.
Why does that guy look like Aaron Paul?
Doesn't he?
It just,
Yeah,
he looks a
like Aaron
lot
Paul.
like Jesse from
Xbox, record that.
I was gonna say, Dean, what are your thoughts on Skibbity Toilet? Have you seen
God.
it? I'm really curious.
Do you have any thought whatsoever on the subject?
Well, I think it's got Riz.
Yes. Yes.
Oh no, he knows.
Speaking my
He
language.
knows.
Thank you for tuning in to the
yeah.
final episode of the Talking Corner.
Yeah.
Next episode.
I finally host, and it's the last one.
One of these days, these kinds of jokes are going to become dad jokes. Remember that.
That's true.
That's
oh my
terrifying.
God.
Crazy.
And
That's
I say to my
crazy.
wife, Skibbity.
Dude, there's gonna be a
everyone was like,
generation
"Oh,
of kids who are
Dad."
like, Dad, stop making Skibbity reference. It was 30 years ago.
Back in my day, we rizzed.
Shut up. Oh my god.
I don't know.
Why'd you-
tried to phantom us.
Dude, why'd you have to say it? We had to say, like, this has been a normal episode, and it immediately devolved.
My God, I'm almost 20.
Oh, boo-hoo. Poor you. I'll be
Reminds
turning
me-
28 in a month.
It reminds me of like
my
that meme where it's
God.
like, it's been a rough life, huh? And he's like, you're only 20. Oh my God.
Okay. I know, right? Somehow I still feel like an old man. I can't wait to see how old I feel when I am actually an old man.
Your time's coming, old man.
Watch, you'll get old, and then you'll be like, huh, this doesn't feel weird at all.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I just feel no different actually. Weird. My
I mean,
back-
it's-
I
I've
was
been
weird.
overplaying this whole thing.
You know, because November I turned 56.
I remember.
So, it's weird to be that age and not mentally feel that age necessarily.
Oh, I see.
Oh yeah.
You should try out for the Olympics.
The Olympics?
Hey, I can do Canadian or Australian break dancing.
Oh, yeah,
You're breakdancing?
yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Remember?
Go for it.
You got my vote.
Yep. You've got my vote too, I think.
Do it live.
I don't know how to vote for
Like, I've never been this age before, so I don't know how to feel.
Yo, how
You
do
know,
you,
one
how
day
are
I'm
you
gonna
supposed
be 80.
like how are we how do you supposed to feel at an age? Like how do we measure that?
I
I
guess
feel-
however you let however you let yourself feel, really. I guess.
I feel tired of being here.
Unless, of course, you know you're on your deathbed, then you really can't control that.
That's fair.
That's true.
Man, you're getting your butt kicked right here at the very
I
end.
really
so-
am. I'm getting
pal.
I'm getting swamped on every angle. Hold
Why
up,
doesn't
Doug Walker
Aaron
is getting
Paul
hit by
help you?
wrenches, dude.
dude. I'm getting
They're
wrecked.
they're
See,
beating
this
Doug
is
Walker
what-
to death
Holy
with wrenches.
crap! Hold up.
This
I
is-
need to do my special move.
This is what was
No,
going to
let
happen
me
to
do
me
my
if I
special
showed up to
move.
the Seattle thing.
Yeah.
Please.
You're
Like,
gonna
I was
beat
told
him.
that
Why can't I
everybody-
do anything?
I was told that everybody had hammers and was waiting for me. So that's why I didn't show up. I stayed.
There we go.
What was that? Is he
Do you
trying to
think
do
they
like,
just-
Michael Jackson moves? What
You
the?
think that they just tell each person to make up moves while they're at the studio?
Probably.
Maybe, yeah.
I really do. I think whoever is in charge of this masterpiece, they just allowed a lot of just winging it.
Yeah, this should be put up next to like Da Vinci's paintings. This is.
Yeah, like
amazing.
the Mona Lisa.
Dude,
Yeah,
you just got
Mona
Doug Walker
Lisa.
killed again.
I did.
killed
Look,
Doug
hey,
Walker.
you can buy this game and play it next time, and then
Where can we buy
you
this
know,
game, pal?
You can buy it on Steam.com.
All right.
Link in the description, guys.
Who is also one of our sponsors.
No, we're not sponsored. We're
This
not
podcast
sponsored.
is sponsored by.
Sponsored
However-
by
Raid.
Doug Walker.
If anybody
And
wants
Aaron
to
Paul.
sponsor this catastrophe,
Wow, Aaron Paul killed him for me.
If we ever get a Manscaped sponsor, I'm doing it.
you know,
Doing, huh?
As a man with Manscaped products, I would
dude,
do
he's
it.
got a big smile on his face as he falls down. He's having a great time.
Can't wait.
Look, there's
to-
Doug.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I thought he was gonna curb stop him.
The boss is the boss.
Yo, it's the boss.
Hey, boss. Hey, boss, come back.
this is how me and my friends walk around.
This is how
I believe
feel.
it. I believe it
Look at
100%.
that, look at that posture, though, bro.
That's how y'all walk in that Chinese restaurant or Mexican restaurant.
What?
Sorry, I get my restaurants
Whoa,
mixed up.
look at that power move! How fast he's going.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
That's how I used to move back in the day. I was pretty quick with
Oh my gosh,
Dude, these
they're
guys
gonna
are
gonna
tough.
kill Aaron Paul.
it. Nah,
can't
Aaron
allow
Paul's-
No, Aaron.
Aaron.
Hello, I'm
You
the
need to be in
nostalgic.
another Xbox commercial, Aaron.
So I
Wait,
need to
no,
come up with
no,
an
I messed
interesting
up.
question for everybody. How does glass cleaner taste? Have you tasted it?
Actually, yes.
Uh-oh.
Horrible.
Leo.
Aaron-
I actually have gotten glass
I
cleaner
don't
in my
know how to
mouth.
describe it to you other than you
It's
actually.
really-
It feels like your tongue is actually dissolving.
Yeah, it's awful.
I'm going to
Don't try it at
assume-
home, kids.
I'm going to.
Kids,
Maybe
drink your
this is
glass
why I
cleaner.
am the way I am now.
Well,
Doug
I-
Walker gets shot
as
by
a- as a
evil Aaron
kid-
Paul.
As a kid, I was dropped and I ran
no.
headfirst into a tree.
Enemy Aaron.
Well, you
Enemy
didn't
Aaron
need to tell me
Paul's
that to
inbound.
figure that out.
That'll be the description for this episode. In this episode, Doug Walker gets shot by evil red Aaron Paul, and Leo drinks glass cleaner.
Yeah.
I did drink glass. I haven't drank.
Can everyone give out their OnlyFans?
Oh yes, actually, I would be happy to.
Link in the description.
Yeah.
Please no.
Leave a comment if you have an.
Oh yeah, I should say this. Anybody who's watching, if you want us to answer questions next week, I think next week we're going to be having JMB, who voices Peanut, on the podcast.
Yeah.
So if you have questions for us or for him, be sure to leave them in the Talking Corner chat in Patreon server, the Discord server, or on the comment section below this video.
Type
should
1
not
if you
leave
want to
any
watch
others fight.
J&B and I fight each other with
Oh my gosh, he
hammers.
does shoot himself in the head. Holy crap.
He does. Yeah. Can we censor that?
Uh-oh.
Should we
Oh
censor-
man, I didn't think this game would be that
You know what?
raunchy.
The way he holds that gun kind of reminds me of the guy from Trailer Park Boys.
I haven't seen
Oh my god.
You know, I know one of the guys who wrote that, but I'd never watched it.
that.
It is pretty funny.
It is a time.
I mean,
It is-
like, one of the guys who wrote for Letterkenny, I became friends with, and yeah, it was just. I tried watching it, but it just wasn't my thing. Letterkenny,
Ah, yeah.
on the other hand, was fantastic.
Letterkenny is really good. I really enjoyed watching Letterkenny.
Dang it.
Oh,
Okay,
and
so Doug Walker.
Doug
is
Walker
beating
gets
up women.
killed by a wrench explosion, I guess.
The I'm
Yet
guessing
again.
the stream is behind for me because it just jump cuts to like different things.
Yeah, we'll see if
it's
the
been
video.
pretty smooth
I
for
barely
me
paid
so
attention to
far.
the footage, so maybe the footage will even be terrible. Who knows? All right, I think
Are
we'll
we-
wrap
are we
it up here.
stuck on one
We're right
frame?
about an hour and 13, and
Wrap it
so
up.
I'm gonna go lay down
Thank
and take a
you,
nap after
everybody,
this.
for.
I'm gonna eat Subway.
Thank you for playing a game, pal. I guess I'll be up next week with the game that we play. I'll be on the roster next week,
Oh yeah.
Excellent. Okay. We'll see.
and then
Okay, let him cook.
after the week after that, I think we have Trina on the podcast,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that'll be fun. And we'll see who else from the cast we can wrangle up for future episodes.
We should
After
get
this,
Jason
maybe not
Rolls.
many of them. Stop that. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching or listening or whatever to the Talking Corner, the worst podcast on the internet, and that is a hard-fought battle. So
No, you can't find us on Spotify.
No.
thanks
yes,
for having me.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming on, Dean. Thanks for
Oh, yeah, dude.
sacrificing an
Love you
hour
guys.
of your precious time on this with us of all people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great to have you. I'm glad you
love
actually
it.
showed up.
And I'd be happy to come back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll have
Oh,
you back
yeah,
on for sure. We'll have to
Well,
get
let's
you to
hope
find
you
a.
survive
Next
the
time we have you
trials
on,
and-
we'll get you to be the one to play the game. You can play whatever obscure game you want.
Yeah,
anyway.
so we'll play some Pong.
Yeah, that's
Pong,
actually
yeah.
that actually will be a great bit.
That would actually be great.
Trying to see if we
Tetris.
how high the number we can get up to. All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
I'm gonna bring a script of something else and have us all read it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, that does sound pretty
beautiful.
fun too. All right,
Oh,
Read the
boy.
fan fiction.
later.
Later, Gators.
Later.